Normally, I start these videos out with some kind of joke related to the deck, but today I do want to take a second to ask you all to support your local humane society, animal shelter, or rescue group. Animals do not ask for the situations that they end up in, and sometimes they do end up in unfortunate situations that are out of their control. Anything you can do to help your local humane society or rescue shelter is always appreciated, whether it's time, money, or supplies. It goes a long way in making these animals' lives a little bit better. So anything you can do is always greatly appreciated. Thank you. Hello and welcome back. And I wanted to do something special to honor our boy Cosmo, who we unfortunately lost to cancer recently. And to honor his memory, I've decided to do something a little fun here and just play a cat themed deck and have a little bit of fun messing around in Legacy. So this is CoCo Cats for Legacy. This is a synergistic aggro deck based around cats, trying to go as aggressive as possible and get a overwhelming board presence thanks to Collected Company being able to put multiple cats on the battlefield at the same time. So some of this deck you may recognize from the energy decks that are running around Legacy with the Ocelot Pride and Ajani Nakatl Pariah. But instead of just playing an energy deck, I wanted to go all in on the cat theme and make Kahira, the Orphan Guard, our companion. So every creature in the deck has to be a cat. I understand I am making some concessions to stay on theme here, as Guide of Souls would be amazing in this deck. But I want to stick with the theme here, so I tried to work within those constraints and come up with a cohesive, semi-competitive deck featuring only cats. So what are we trying to do here? As I said, we're trying to overrun our opponent with aggressive cats as quickly as possible, and one thing cats synergize really well with is life gain. So to fit that theme, we get tokens off of Ocelot Pride for gaining life. We can grow Ajani's Pride Mate into a giant creature while we're gaining life. And to be able to gain that life, we're flooding the board with a bunch of creatures anyways. So instead of Guide of Souls, I've decided to go with Leon and Vanguard. So at the beginning of combat, if you control 3 or more creatures, this creature gets +1/+1 and you gain 1 life. That gain 1 life is going to trigger Ocelot Pride to be able to make a token. It's going to trigger Ajani's Pride Mate to be able to grow it. And because we're so low to the ground and so aggressive, we're going to be able to hit 3 creatures to trigger Leon and Vanguard as quickly as possible. To close the game out, we have a bunch of lords in the deck in the form of Arabo the First Fang, which gives everything +1/+1, and you control, or whenever a non-token cat enters the battlefield, you get another one, which is going to add to your Leon and Vanguard count, which is going to add to your City's Blessing. We also have a Feline Sovereign, gives your cats +1/+1 and acts as artifact and enchantment removal. To protect ourselves, we have Kutzul Malamet Exemplar, which essentially acts as a voice of victory, but also acts as card draw because we have so many lords, our cats are going to have greater than their base power and toughness. So whenever one of those deals combat damage to a player, you draw a card. This is our card advantage in the deck. We also have Brimaz to be able to make even more tokens and just be a decent size vigilant blocker and attacker to be able to go through. And then we have a full play set of Kutzil's Flankers. Again, life gain off of the Gain 2 Scry 2 mode to be able to trigger our Ajani's Pride Mates and our Guide of Souls, a little bit of built-in graveyard hate, or it can grow itself if it needs to. To be able to get all these creatures out, we have Aether Vial to be able to get these things in uncounterably and allow us to cast multiple spells per turn. And Collected Company, once we hit 4 mana, to just be able to shit out 2 cats, hopefully the best 2 we can find. With a massive 24 creatures, we are highly likely to hit 2 creatures off of Collected Company every single time we cast it. The sideboard is kind of mostly just to be able to interact with combo decks, if we're being honest here. Full playset of Deafening Silence to be able to shut down Storm decks, Stony Silence to be able to shut down artifact decks, Leyline of the Void for graveyard decks, and a full playset of roads to be able to deal with problematic creatures or planeswalkers. So our hope is we can just kind of out aggro anything that is not a combo deck that doesn't interact with us in any way, shape, or form. And then we rely on our sideboard to bring in cards that hate on whatever specific combo deck we are up against. If you enjoyed this video, do me a favor, drop a like and a comment below, and be sure to sub to the channel to know when my videos go live. As a thank you to all the viewers, when the channel hits 500 subs, I will offer everybody free donation deck lists for the following month. So if you want to see your deck played on the channel, make sure you hit that sub button if you haven't already. With that all said, let's honor Cosmo with a little bit of fun and play some Magic. Alright, this one is for all our furry friends out here. Let's see how many times I forget to reveal our companion here, but up against another companion, so we got a little Pokemon battle going on here, but I don't hate this at all. We can turn one Aether Vial or Ocelot Pride, depending on what we see from our opponent. This could be Death and Taxes, this could just be that 4-color Yorion pile stuff, but we'll see. If it's Death and Taxes, it's going to be a little bit rougher, but it looks like it's going to be the value Yorion, which I believe our deck is probably going to be able to overtake pretty quickly, especially with the Cavernous Soul. So let's play a Plains and drop an Aether Vial. And we can kind of just work our way up the curve here. And we're getting a Brainstorm from the opponent in response to the Aether Vial. So it looks like they're looking for a way to counter it. And it manages to get in. So next turn we can drop Cavern of Souls, play a Johnny, Violin, Ocelot Pride, and then the following turn we can either cut Zool's Flanker or Feline Sovereign. Opponent cracks a Misty for a Tundra, a Prismatic Ending. Okay, I mean, that's mostly fine. We have another way to be able to do stuff here. And opponent's got a Tameo. So the question becomes is, do we want to just slam it a Johnny, or do we want to go Ocelot Pride, hold up Karakas? I think we're going to go Ocelot Pride, hold up Karakas, play chicken with this Tameo for a little bit here. Getting in with the Tameo. Misty Rainforest from the opponent. Into a basic forest. Into a Teferi. Well, that's a little annoying. Well, we will bounce that back, and hopefully we can just go wide of this Teferi. We hit in a Johnny's Primate. We will do Cavern of Souls on Cat, play out an uncounterable Johnny, hold up this Karakas, pass the turn. We'd like to just kind of keep hitting land drops so we can maybe drop either Arabo or Feline Sovereign. Ponder from the opponent. Did not shuffle with the Ponder. I'm guessing that means they maybe found a Swords to Plowshares or something. No, they found a Karakas. Oh, that's a little annoying, but not the end of the world. And we hit another land. So let's play Savannah. Do I want to tax their stuff, or do I just want to drop a Lord here? I think I just want to drop a Lord here. So then either one of these cats getting in should be enough to be able to kill the Teferi. And then we could theoretically blow up this Clue in the process. We will attack everything at Teferi. We just need to get that off the board so we can turn on our CoCos and our Cutzul's Flanker again. They can bounce the Ajani, but they still lose the Teferi. Alright, just let the Teferi go, passing the turn. I'm a little worried about something like a Wrath of the Skies, but... And opponent's going to draw for their Clue. Okay. Ooh, into a Terminus. Okay. Well, that sets us back a little bit, but we got a handful of creatures, so we can kind of rebuild pretty easily here. Another land from the opponent. Into a Jace the Mind Sculptor. Okay. And opponent's going to Brainstorm. Well, we hit a Marsh Flat, so let's go ahead and drop an Arabo. Add a couple bodies to the battlefield here. And then we will go ahead and go grab probably another Savannah. And drop our Ocelot Pride. This is really the first thing we have that we're allowing them to potentially counter here. And we're just hoping they didn't set up another Terminus on top of the library here. Alright, they did not draw another Terminus. Plays a land. Looks like they're passing the turn. I'm a little worried about them drawing into a Terminus here, but we will see what happens. Well, we will get in. We will attack the opponent, attack Jace, attack Jace. They are fetching to clear, so they do not have... Oh, okay, so they're putting Terminus back on top? Well, we're going to nuke that then. Flash in a Kut'Zul's flanker, nuke their graveyard. Okay, counterspell it all you want, it's uncounterable. I don't think our opponent realized that we have a Cavern of Souls. Ooh, opponent's going to dress down. Okay, that might have been their way to draw the Terminus, so hopefully it's not. I mean, that also stops them from being able to Miracle it. And this does attack Jace down to only 1. It doesn't actually kill it. And a sword's on a cat. Okay. Well, this is a little annoying, unfortunately, because now they're going to be able to draw the Terminus on their turn. Yeah, I think we're going to go to the next one here. They're just able to loop that Terminus a little too well here. So with them having all of this kind of stuff, we are going to take the Leyline of the Voids in, and I think we're going to take the Erodes in. As much as I hate it, I don't think Collected Company is going to do much in this. Trying to think if we realistically actually need these Leylines here. Like, with the Mystic Sanctuaries, and I'm sure they have Uro in the deck, but we have so many Kut'Zul's flankers, maybe we don't need them. We just need the Erodes to deal with the Planeswalkers. So let's actually just bring the Erodes in and just hope that our opponent can't keep chaining Terminuses back and forth. So let's try that. All right, and we start off with a Cavern of Souls and an Aether Vial, so let's go ahead and keep this. We will play Windswept Heath, go grab a Savannah, and slam an Aether Vial, which just instantly resolves. Okay. Blue mana from the opponent into a Tamiyo. That is fine. We have the Erode to be able to kill it. We will tick up the Aether Vial. We draw a Kut'Zul. We will get Cavern of Souls on Cats, play a Leona Vanguard, pass the turn, hold up this Erode, hold up being able to violin another Leona Vanguard, Flooded Stream from the opponent, get their clue off of Tamiyo, into a Ponder, did not shuffle off of the Ponder, shuffling off of the Flooded Strand, into a Tropical Island, into an Abundant Growth. This is draw number 3 for the turn. This will flip Tamiyo, but we are going to erode it. Seeing all of our anti-counterspell hate, they might have taken their counterspells out. I don't like that this ramps them, but it gets the Tamiyo off the battlefield. And then in end step, we will violin another Leona Vanguard. Vial can tick up to 2. We draw another Cavern, so we will play a second Cavern on Cat, and we will go ahead and play a Kut'Zul here. This will allow our Leona Vanguards to get pumped, gain some life, get in. We will draw 2 cards off of Kut'Zul for this, or I guess 1. We hit a Kut'Zul's flanker, okay, and pass the turn. I would have liked a 2-drop there that we could violin, but... And they blind set up a Terminus. Okay. Well, there goes our board. Flooded Stream from the opponent. Yeah, unfortunately, decks with a ton of sweepers in them are kind of our worst nightmare here. Into a Teferi. I mean, that's mostly fine. They're going to bounce the Aether Vial back to our hand. Okay. We hit a Johnny's Pride Mate. Well, we will... go ahead and replay the Aether Vial, play the Johnny's Pride Mate, and pass the turn. Taking up Teferi, plays another land. The One Ring. Okay. Well, we can't attack them, but if they don't remove the Johnny's Pride Mate, we should be able to kill the Teferi. Take up our Aether Vial. We hit another Johnny's Pride Mate. Well, let's get in, see if we can kill the Teferi. This turns on our Kut'Zul's flanker, at least. Pass the turn. Drawing a card off of the One Ring. Drawing some more cards off of the One Ring. A Uro. Okay. Well, we can nuke that out of the graveyard. They gain some life, draw a card, play a Karakas, play a red land. Okay, so they are 4-color Yorion here. All right, looks like they're passing the turn. We are going to just nuke their graveyard right now. Get rid of that Uro forever. Get rid of one of their Terminus. This is probably putting the Terminus back on top. Yes, they're going to put the Terminus back on top. We just won't play into it. That's fine. Take up Aether Vial. See what we draw here. We draw another Aether Vial. Well, we will go ahead and play out the other Aether Vial. And they do have a way to draw a card on board, but if they put these back, we can just vial in a Johnny's Pridemate, and then follow that up with a Felidar Sovereign. Okay, they're going to brainstorm into it. We lose those two, which is fine. Lose those. End of their turn, we're going to vial in a Pridemate, then we will play Feline Sovereign, and opponent's going to draw for their clue. That's fine. The One Ring is posing some problems for them, but they're going to find another one. That's kind of just what happens with the One Ring. They had a second Uro. Okay. And they have the mana to escape it next turn, but not the cards, but they're going to have to discard a few. Shuffled off of the Ponder and fetching to grab another basic. Into a Preordain. Yeah, unfortunately, these hardcore control decks are kind of the bane of existence of these go-wide aggro strategies. One top, one bottom off of that. And then in end step, we will dump in our Johnny's Pridemate. We will take up both of our vials. And we hit in a road. That is interesting. Well, we will get in with the Johnny's Pridemate. At declare blockers, we will vial in Feline Sovereign to pump the Johnny's Pridemate. Swords to Plowshares on the Feline Sovereign. Okay. Ajani still grows because we gained life. Okay, yeah, we're going to scoop it up here. They just have way too much removal. Like I said, these hardcore Wrath control decks are the bane of the existence of all of these go-wide tribal creature strategies, so we'll just move on to the next round. All right, one of the die roll. Reveal the cats. See what we start out with here. We're up against another Yorion deck by the look of it. Yes. All right. I mean, this is a nice little curve to try to get up to a collected company. We will see if we are up against a Death and Taxes strategy or if we're up against another Yorion value pile here. And since we don't know what we're up against yet and our main color is white, we are going to go play off of basics to start here. So play the Windswept Heath, grab a Plains, drop an Ocelot Pride, Plains from the opponent, into a Swords to Plowshares. Okay, so this looks like Death and Taxes. Again, a nightmare matchup for creature-based strategies. We will play a Savannah and play in a Johnny. See if we can just overwhelm our opponent here. Unfortunately, this is a matchup where if they're on the black version, Orcish Bowmasters is probably going to just wreck our day. So I'm tempted to slam down a Rabo as quickly as possible here. Into an Aether Vial. Okay, well, we're going to give them two legendaries to have to worry about here. An Aether Vial of our own. We will play Cavern of Souls on Cats. Slam in a Rabo, so they have two legendaries they're going to have to worry about here. Make another dude. Our guys get bigger. They're probably going to bounce this Ajani. They might bounce the Arabo just to decrease the amount of damage they're taking. No, they're going to bounce the Ajani, which is fine because that equals 2 bodies next time it comes down. Opponent takes 3. Their Aether Vial starts ticking up. Not seeing any black mana out of our opponent yet. And opponent's passing the turn. Or at least going to the second main phase. No, they're passing the turn, so they got something they want to flash in here. We hit another Ajani. Well, we'll play Verdant Catacombs. We will get in with everything here. They're probably going to bounce the Arabo now. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Get in for 3. Into Ophelia. We will let them go to blocks, and then we're going to Collected Company and hope we hit a Lord. All right, they're going to block that cat. We are going to go ahead and fetch. Go grab another Savannah. And hope that we hit a Lord off of this Collected Company. Ajani, Brimaz, and Feline Sovereign. I think we're going to grab Brimaz and Feline Sovereign here. Take out their Felia. And then we get to destroy the Aether Vial because of Feline Sovereign. So that was a very good CoCo. All right, their board is pretty much clear. We have so many legendaries. We're very quickly going to overtax this Caracas. They look like they might be mono white here. Skyclave Apparition, that's fine. Are they going to take the Brimaz or are they going to take the Feline Sovereign? Taking the Feline Sovereign, okay. And we hit into Johnny's Pride Mates. So I think what we're going to do here is we're going to cast Arabo, pump our team, make them decide if they want to bounce the Arabo or the Brimaz, make another body, play an Aether Vial of our own, and then we swing out. All right, they're going to bounce the Brimaz, and we will attack with everything, see if they want to trade off this Skyclave Apparition for any of this. Luckily, we shouldn't have to worry about sweepers from our opponent, since they're a creature deck as well. Ghost Quarter, okay. I mean, we have basics to go grab, but they do look like they're just mono-white Yorion taxes. All right, opponent's passing the turn. We take up our Aether Vial. See what we draw here. We hit a Kutzool. So, I mean, let's just add some bodies to the battlefield here. We will play into Johnny. And I think we're actually going to try to force the action here on this Caracas. Because what we can do is play another Ajani, Legend Rule it, force them to either bounce it, and that leaves a Rabo around and keeps our creatures pumped. We will make a small army of cats here. And then we are going to try to force the action. They can either let us have the Planeswalker or they can let us have the Arabo. All right, they're going to bounce the Ajani, so we get to keep the Arabo, assuming they don't have a Swords to Plowshares or something, but we make even more cats. And then we will move to combat. We're going to hold the Arabo back. And opponent scoops it up. Okay, just overwhelming the board with cats. Up against what our opponent's doing here. More removal isn't bad. Stony Silence can shut down their Aether Vials, but shuts down ours as well. We haven't seen black mana out of them yet, so I think we're going to bring the Erodes in and trim the Flankers. Because we haven't seen if they're a black version. If we see black mana, we'll bring those back in because it means they have Overlord of the Baelmerk, which we definitely want Kutzool's Flanker for. But I think we just want to increase our removal right now. We could take out the Aether Vials if we wanted to, but I want to be able to get multiple things on the battlefield quickly and just overwhelm them like we just did. So let's try that. Reveal the cat. We have multiple Ocelot Prides, an Erode, a Leonin Vanguard. I think we're going to keep this. It's a little wonky. I'd like to see some more lands here, but we're going to take a calculated risk here. Opponent kept on 7 as well. Witchblessed Meadow tapped. Okay. Okay, that's what I want to see, and we're going to play off of basics to start here. Go grab a Plains, drop an Ocelot Pride, pass the turn. A Ganjo, okay, so I'm guessing this means they have a Felia. We had a Leona Vanguard. We're going to get in, kill the Felia. I'm 99% sure they have here. Yep, that is a Felia. We will erode that before they get a chance to block with it. That does ramp them up a little bit, but we're going to just try to go wide here. Get our cat token off of the Ocelot Pride, pass the turn. Kind of just want to hit more lands here. That is a Wasteland. A Stoneforge Mystic, okay. I would like another removal spell to be able to kill that before they can put something into play with it. A Meteor Sword, okay. We hit a land. So I can Feline Sovereign here so that our cats are pumped and we can attack in. We are still going to play off of basics for as long as possible here. Well, I guess we actually can't. So here comes the Savannah. And we will play Feline Sovereign so we can still get in with our creatures. If they block, it means they have a removal spell. We're getting blown out and we probably scoop it up at that point. They have a Solitude. Are they going after the Feline Sovereign? They are. Yeah, we're just dead here at this point. They're going to cut us off of all of our mana. So we will just go to the next one. It's not worth grinding that out. With that said, I think we just run it back. All right. We got some removal into an Ajani, but this is kind of slow. I think we need to chip that. Okay, this can let us work our way up to a Collected Company. So I think we're going to keep this, probably bin the Cavern for right now. And we will start off with a Windswept Heath, go grab a basic Plains, and play Leona Vanguard, pass the turn. Follow this up with another Vanguard and a Lush Portico. Plains from the opponent. We hit an Ajani. Okay, well, we'll play Lush Portico. See what our top card is. A Marsh Flats. I think we'll keep that on top here. Play another Leona Vanguard. Get in, swack them for 1, and pass the turn. Next turn, we will Ajani, Lush Portico, White Orchid Phantom. Okay, well, we have another basic, so this doesn't really change much here. It was just another land on top. We will go grab our basic forest here. Get our colors under us. We hit an Ajani's Pride Mate. I think we will play Lush Portico and a road. I think we're going to bin that. We're looking for a land to be able to play this collected company. And this puts them in a very awkward situation about if they actually want to block either of these cats. If they have a Solitude, it's a moot point because they can just Solitude the Ajani. But, all right, they don't have the removal spell right now, so we get to get in there. That is a wasteland. That is why we are still searching for lands here. Okay, they either just drew the Solitude or they decided to do it now instead? Do they have an Ephemerate? No. Okay, interesting. And a Wrath of the Skies for 1. I'm honestly surprised to see a Wrath in a creature deck like this. But I guess we'll see. I really want a untapped land off of the top so I can go ahead and collect a company. Or I just hit another Ajani. I guess we'll play that. Try to rebuild here. They have a Ghost Quarter. We still have one more basic in the deck, but if they go after both of our green sword and a Swords to Plowshares, yeah, we just ran into 2 nightmare matchups in a row for this deck. And a Stoneforge Mystic. Okay, well, we need a removal spell for that. Otherwise, they're going to go grab a Meteor Sword, blow up our lands, and we're just completely out of this game. We're able to overwhelm them in game 1, but again, up against these super removal heavy decks, like, this fares much better up against, like, mid-range style decks and fair decks in the sense of, like, tempo sort of stuff. Pre-war Formal Wear to get back. I don't see anything they can get back here is the problem. Well, we'll play Ajani's Pride Mate, swing in with our little Cat Warrior token. They're going to trade off. Oh, okay. They wanted to trade off so that they can get Stoneforge Mystic back. Okay, I see what's going on here. I completely forgot that they would just do that. That is on me. It is early. And now they're going to grab the Meteor Sword? No, Lion Sash. Okay. And we hit an Ocelot Pride. Well, I guess we'll just play that. Pass the turn. And then we'll just F6. We got nothing to bluff here. We're kind of missing lands, which is a little unfortunate. They play a Lush Portico. So yeah, they are just straight mono white. This is just for Surveil. They're not going to have any actual green cards in their deck. So while we dodged the Overlord of the Baelmerk and Orcish Bowmasters, unfortunately, like I said, I'm a little surprised to see a sweeper in a creature-based deck, but, well, there's a Cavernous Souls. We will play that, put it on Cat, play our Feline Sovereign. Our creatures are a little bit bigger, but not big enough to actually get in yet. So we will pass the turn. If they go after our Cavern of Souls and we top deck a land, we might still be able to collect a company and get back in this. Or if they choose to spend their mana on other things. Okay, a Felia. And they have a Wasteland. Yeah, I think we're just out of this one. We missed mana for way too many turns. They had a fucking Wrath of the Skies of all things. Getting it with Felia and Stoneforge Mystic. What are they going to blink here? They are going to go ahead and blink the Feline Sovereign. Okay. Well, I hate to do it, but we have to kill this Felia if we have any hope of getting back in this game. Putting Yorion in hand. Okay. We get our Feline Sovereign back. If we hit an untapped land, we have hope. Okay. So we do have this. I guess we do this main phase just to see if we can hit anything to be able to force some attacks through. Arabo and a Ocelot Pride. make a few more cats, pump our stuff up so that it can actually attack. This Ocelot Pride is still only a 3/3 is the problem here. We do have the City's Blessing, so I think this is worth attacking in with the Ocelot Pride just to be able to get some more tokens off of it. And they do have to block both of these if they want to keep their pre-war formalware, and they do. Okay. We lose a Ocelot Pride. They lose their White Orchid Phantom, but we get a bunch of tokens. And we know the 2 cards in their hand. They have a Lion Sash and a Yorion. So as long as they don't top deck a Sweeper, we still have an okay shot here. And opponent scoops it up. A win on the board for Cats. On to the next round. Okay, finally broke the streak of facing Yorion decks here. Up against a 60-card deck. Reveal Kahira. And I don't hate our opening hand here. Turn 1, Aether Vial. Turn 2, 2 Leone Vanguards. Or playing a Johnny Vial in a Vanguard. I like this quite a bit. What a Foothills from the opponent. Into a Taiga. Into an Exploration. Okay, so it's lands. So Tabernacle is a thing I'm going to have to kind of worry about. But luckily they shouldn't have much in terms of removal or anything. Well, we will play an Aether Vial. Pass the turn. A very quick Merit Lage is also concerning, but we'll see. Our plan against lands is basically just go as fast as possible and overwhelm them. Urza Saga into Thespian Stage. Okay. We take up our Aether Vial. We hit a Lush Portico. Let's go ahead, play Windswept Heath, go get our basic forest here. I accidentally grabbed Savannah. That is on me. I will play a Johnny, make some cats, and pass the turn. And opponent is going to try to just go on the go wide construct plan. So Tabernacle doesn't seem like their game plan here. And a Wasteland, okay. And a Dark Depths, and that's death, unfortunately. Okay. Yeah, we don't really have a huge plan up against lands, unfortunately. But against what our opponent's doing here, like, we really don't have a game plan up against lands other than basically just run it back and hope that we can go faster than they can. We could shut down some of their Life from the Loam shenanigans if we want to bring in the ley lines, but I think we're just going to run it back and try to go faster. All right, I mean, this is fast, so we'll go ahead and keep this. We will play a Plains, play an Aether Vial, pass the turn. They did see we scooped to a very fast Merit Lage, so they might have tried to find one, but they kept on 7, so hopefully it just doesn't naturally have that. Grove of the Burn Willows. Into an Exploration. Into a Boseiju. Into another Exploration? Yes. Okay, so they're basically just going to dump their hand as quickly as possible here. Into a Urza's Saga. And pass the turn. Okay. Take up our Aether Vial. Another Aether Vial. We'll play Savannah. Drop in a Johnny. And then we're going to Vial in the Ocelot Pride. Valaka Exploration. Okay. A Wasteland is a little annoying. Shadow Spear. That also is annoying. Alright, gonna play the Shadow Spear. And a Dark Depths. Into another Dark Depths. So they could play the Dark Depths to Legend Rule it, which looks like what they're doing here. Into a Exploration map they can't play. And this goes to face. Alright, with that on the stack here, we activate Aether Vial, put in Ocelot Pride, tick up Aether Vial. I would love an untap land here. Another Arabo. Well, we will play another Aether Vial. Vial and a Pride Mate. Swing with everything so we can survive a Merit Lage hit here. Grow our Pride Mate. And then pass the turn. I'm very quickly getting up to the City's Blessing here to try to just go wide. How many Expedition maps do they have is the question. Okay, not even bothering to go for whatchamacallit here. A Construct. If they have more Expedition maps, they can go grab a Tabernacle, which is going to be a pain in the ass, but... failed to find? Oh no, they grabbed the Haywire Mite. That's fine, you can take out one of the Aether Vials. Alright, taking out our land. Life from the Loam back, Saga, Depths. Okay, so I should have brought in the... whatchamacallits here. Ley lines, but I figure our hope was that we would just go faster. And they hit a Tabernacle. Yeah, we're fucked. Good game, opponent. Good game. On to the next round. All right. Won the die roll. Reveal Kahira. I don't hate this. We can go ahead and keep this. We just kind of want to hit some lands here, but we're going to turn 1 Vial, turn 2 a Johnny. All right, some kind words from the opponent here. Apparently they're a follower, so Jack Greenhat. Hopefully you see this. Thanks for playing with me here. But we'll start out with a Savannah, go into a Aether Vial, and we will pass the turn, buy you from the opponent, into a Thoughtseize. Okay, do you want the CoCo or the Ajani? I'm assuming that's what they're going to grab as one of those two. Took the Ajani, okay. Take up our Vial. Into a Leonin Vanguard. Okay, I like that. We'll play Caracas. Play Ajani's Pridemate. Vial into Leonin Vanguard. And hope that we hit a land to be able to play this Cthulhu's Flanker. Okay, well, I guess that's not going to happen then. We do need to watch out for an Orcish Bowmasters here. Flow in the Vanguard. And I'm guessing this is a Bowmaster to take out the Vanguard. No. At least not yet anyways. Take up the Vial. We hit a Windswept Heath. Well, we will go ahead and grab a basic Plains here. Or... I mean, we're already playing into the Wasteland. I think we're just going to play even further into it here. And flash in this Cthulhu's Flanker. And we are going to scry and gain, grow the Ajani's Pridemate. Yep, there's the Bowmaster we kind of knew was coming. And they're going to take out the Flanker. Okay. A Aether Vial Collected Company. We don't want either of these, unfortunately. Ajani's Pridemate grows. And we will get in with the Pridemate and pass the turn. Opponent just takes it. Oh, opponent's not even getting in, and they're missing land drops. Okay. Well, we will take up Aether Vial. Then we're going to keep it on 3. This allows us to basically play whatever we draw here. Another Ajani's Pridemate. Well, we will go ahead and play that. This will pump everything up. Unless they have another Orcish Bowmasters. Which they do. Okay. A little unfortunate. That'll kill the Vanguard. And then we will pass the turn and just hang back on defense for right now. 2 mana for Malevolent Rumble. Oh, it's Pox. Okay, interesting. Chose Skateboard. I like that small Pox is gone, and they're still struggling on mana. Oh, they have a Hogak? That's not good. All right, opponent is not casting Hogak? Interesting. Well, we will not take up Aether Vial, keep it on 3. I'd like to just see a land here. That is a Brimaz. Well, we'll pass the turn, Vial in the Brimaz to be on blocking duty. They're going to go after the Caracas, which explains why they did not play the Hogak, because I could just bounce it. Hitting their lands, finally. They can play Skateboard, play Hogak, equip it, swing for 9. And then hopefully we can just go wide of that. There's Hogak. There's the Skateboard. What are they tapping down? They're going to tape. Yep, they're going to tap the Aether Vial. Force me to activate it now. Vial and Brimaz. And opponent's fetching with their Verdant. I'm assuming this is just to equip the Skateboard to Hogak. Yep. Getting in with the Hogak. That is fine. Aether Vial is going to stay where it's at. See what we draw. There was that land that we needed. We will put this on Cat. We will get in with just Brimaz, make a token, hit for 4, pass the turn. If they swing out and we hit a land and really good off of this Collected Company, we might be able to steal this. And opponent has a Witherbloom command to make me lose 2, get a land back. Returned Caracas. Okay. Getting in with just the Hogak. Okay. Down to 1. And passing the turn, they're probably going to Caracas the Brimaz back to my hand this turn. I think this is land or bust. And we have to hit very well off of this CoCo. That is a Feline Sovereign. I guess we will get in, see what they do here. Okay, they're going to bounce the Brimaz now. And we will attack with all creatures. I think, because this doesn't give trample, we aren't going to be able to get through here. Yeah, we're just dead here, because this will do 2. Okay, on to the next round. With seeing what we've seen here, we are absolutely bringing in Leyline of the Voids. And I think we're going to take out the Aether Vials for this match and try something like that. All right, we will keep this. Just kind of work our way up the ladder here. And the Synergies is going to make killing our Ocelot Pride kind of a pain in the ass for them. And we will play out 2 Leylines. And since we saw Wasteland, we are going to start off with Windswept Heath into basic planes. And play an Ocelot Pride. Like I said, just going to try to work our way up the chain here and see if we can go faster than them. Verdant Catacombs from the opponent, and a pass. And a Ajani's Pride Mate, well, we will play our Savannah, play an actual Ajani. This also makes Smallpox awkward in the sense that Smallpox flips our Ajani, and then we have a token generator. Get our token off of the Ocelot Pride, and we're turn 2, and we already have 8 permanents toward the City's Blessing. Cracks their Verdant into a Undercity Sewers, or Underground Mortuary, Surveil Land. And Bind and Urza's Saga. Okay. And a Underground Mortuary from the opponent. We hit a Kutzul. Well, we will play out our Pride Mate. We just need a land and we can kind of start going crazy here. And then we are going to hold the Ajani back here. Because I don't want them to flash in a Bowmasters, ping, then block the Ajani so that it can't flip. And this makes blocking very awkward for them. And we grow the Pride Mate. And then this gets us the City's Blessing. Okay, so they do have a Bowmaster. They're going to kill this in response so that I don't get the City's Blessing, probably. And to flip the Ajani on end step so I can't activate it, which is fine. That's fine. Ajani flips. And now I have a token generator. And I'm still 1 land away from being able to play either of these. Ghost Quarter, okay. I have more basics. It's not a straight-up Wasteland. Witherbloom Charm. Kills the Ajani and kills a token. Okay. I mean, they're doing a good job controlling the board here. I kind of just want to land. Well, that's a Caracas. So we will play Caracas, play a Rabo, get another cat, and then we just go aggro. Our goal is get them dead as fast as possible. And we will pass the turn. Mox Diamond, okay. Chuck to Boseiju. Urza's Saga, okay. And opponent scoops it up. On to game 3. And I think we're just going to run it back. Vanguard into Pride Mate into Sovereign, hopefully. I think we're going to try to keep this. Urza's Saga from the opponent. Into a Mox Diamond. Chucking an Urza's Saga. Another Cavern of Souls. Well, we will work our way up the chain here. Grab a Plains off of our Windswept Heath, play a Leona Vanguard, pass the turn. Did not flash in a Bowmaster there. Saga ticks up. Another Mox Diamond. So they're going for as big of a Saga as they can by the look of it. A Verdant Catacombs. Well, we will play Verdant, go to grab another basic, and play our Pride Mate. I'm not attacking into a 3/3 construct here. And if they go hyper aggro, make 2 constructs, get a skateboard, attack with both of them, I can kind of get them back with this Feline Sovereign here. And it looks like that might be what they're doing here. All right, how aggro are they going here? Are they grabbing the skateboard and going to equip it? We can take a Swack for 9, and then we just blow up their board. They are grabbing the skateboard. Okay. This might be a little bit of a blowout if they only have 1 land equipped skateboard. Okay, they're not. Okay, that is pretty fine by me, honestly. And it looks like they're missing lands. And we hit a Leyline. We will play Cavern on Cat. And we will play a Feline Sovereign. Move to combat, take out one of these constructs. I'm actually debating if we want to take out a Mox Diamond in case they have Life from the Loam. And we'll just swing in with everything here. There's something to be said about just kind of taking our beats here. But this actually clears the board because that's got 4 damage marked on it. So this can wipe up their constructs. And then we can start going after their mana this turn, because if they have a loam, they have to take the turn to play loam, play an Urza Saga. Is this a Toxic Deluge? Yes, it is. Well, we can rebuild from that. I'm not as concerned about that. And we hit a Savannah. Well, we will play the Savannah. And I think we're just going to hold up this Kutsul's flanker right now. We can use it to scry, or if they go for a life from the loam, we can go ahead and just flash it in and kill that. Wasteland from the opponent. And opponent is not doing anything, so we are going to go ahead and flash in this Kutsul's flanker. And we are going to scry and gain life. Ajani's Pridemate and Kutsul itself. I'm not really sure we want either of these, but I don't want to pass up another creature. But I think we're just going to bottom both of them. I'm really looking for like a CoCo or something. Okay, Ajani is good. Play another land. Play a Ajani's Pridemate. And play an Ajani. Holding up weight, make them think maybe we have some kind of removal spell here. And they have no incentive to block here, so... Because if they block, I flip Ajani. Are they... They're blocking! Okay. This flips Ajani. It replaces itself. And we will make a cat and pass the turn. We are basically a CoCo away from theoretically just taking over this game. Okay, Pithing Needle to shut down the Ajani. That's mostly fine. We can triple block one of these constructs to get it off of the battlefield. Equipping the skateboard, that's fine. Yeah, I think we're going to triple block one of these constructs. And they're both coming at face. Okay. And we really need a CoCo here. But we will clear one of these out, take 6, and CoCo off the top or some kind of token generator. That is a Lush Portico. I really need to see a CoCo here. Ocelot Pride isn't going to do it, unfortunately. We'll take a hit for 6 at least, and we kind of just got to hope the top of our deck is a CoCo. Into a Barrow Goyf. Okay. And equipping the skateboard, and yeah, that's lethal. Good game, opponent. Good game. That was pretty close. And swacking me for exactly lethal here. Good game, opponent. Good game. Final round. Won the die roll. Reveal the kitty. And let's see if we can get one more win on the board for the Cats here. Okay, I don't hate this. We will go ahead and keep this. Start out with a Plains into Aether Vial. Vial in a Vanguard and play a Lush Portico on turn 2. And then just kind of work our way up to this Collected Company, hopefully. Alright, Vial is in. Once upon a time. Are we seeing Initiative? Are we seeing like a Cradle Control deck? Wooded Foothills. It still could be either. Plays the Wooded Foothills. Cracking the Foothills. Into a Forest. Into a Seal of Strength. Is this like a budget infect deck? What is this? I mean, I'm intrigued. Take up the Vial. Feline Sovereign. We will play Lush Portico, see what the top of our deck is. We're kind of just looking for lands at this point, so we will absolutely keep the land on top. And we will pass the turn, and we will Vial in the Leonin Vanguard. My biggest concern is if this is an infect deck, we really don't have a way to deal with a Blighted Agent. Windswept Teeth from the opponent. Paw Patch Recruit. Oh, okay. I mean, that's interesting. So this is some kind of budget prowess deck, I guess? Maybe they're on a theme as well? Well, we will Vial in our Leonin Vanguard. Is this going to be the battle of the rabbits versus the cats, perhaps? Good our turn. Take up our Vial. Draw the Verdant Catacombs that we know about. So we will play the Verdant Catacombs. Go. I think we're going to fetch a Savannah. I don't know if they're going to have land destruction in their deck or not. But we will play the Feline Sovereign. And then we will move to combat, see if they want to trade here, and if they do, we will Violin Ajani in response. Otherwise, if they don't block, they're just losing their Seal of Strength. Okay, they are going to block. So we will Vile in Ajani in response so that we can flip it. We could have done this before so Leon and Vanguard got pumped, but I actually would rather trade this off. Mutagenic growth, okay. So they're like some kind of crazy aggro trampoline deck. We will flip the Ajani, go to second main, and make a new cat, and then pass the turn. The fact that this says trample is a little bit scary to me. But we're kind of hoping we just hit another land, CoCo, and can go absolutely crazy. Found another basic forest. Another forest. So they're mono green, whatever they're doing over there. Uktabi Drake, Flying Haste and Echo. Okay. So they're mono green trample, basically. The Drake is going after Ajani. This is going face. I think I'm going to try to play it safe here and double block this. Try to get it off of the battlefield and soak up as much damage as I can. I'm worried about something like a Become Immense into a Berserk or something. And them just one-shotting us here. Mutagenic growth on the Drake to kill the Ajani. Okay. And even if they pump this with Seal of Strength, it doesn't have enough toughness to survive. It'll trample over a little bit of damage, but with the Seal of Strength, it only goes up to 5. Invigorate. Okay, so they definitely are... I'm a little worried about a Berserk here. Nope, they're just going to pop it to do that so that it survives. We will end up taking 5 off of this. But they're down to 1 card in hand. And I think I'm going to keep the Vial on 2 for this turn. Just in case I hit a land, I can Vial in the Pridemate and play CoCo. If we hit a 3-drop, we can just cast it. Well, let's play Ocelot Pride. And then we will pass the turn. They've only got 1 card in hand. And we will Vial in Ajani's Pridemate at end of turn. They have to pay for the Drake or let it go. Okay, they're going to pay for the Drake. That's good. That limits what they can do this turn. And it looks like they're just getting in. Or getting in with the Drake. Oh, they're getting in with both. Okay, well, I guess we are going to block the Paw Patch. What the fuck is this? Distribute 3+1/+1 counters. Okay, so they're going to put 3+1/+1 counters on this. Well, we'll Vial in the Ajani's Pridemate so that at least that will grow. We will lose the Ocelot Pride. But again, we're kind of just looking for a land to be able to CoCo here. We are going to go ahead and tick up the Vial this time. This is a very interesting mono-green pump deck. But they are out of cards. Tick up the Vial, see what we draw. I'd like to just see a land here. That is an Ajani. Well, I guess we'll play that. And we do need to start getting in as much as possible here. So let's get some damage in. We do need to close this game out. There's nothing to blow up with the Feline Sovereign. An opponent is down to 8. They're dead on board on the crackback. They're only going to have 1 card. A Become Immense doesn't kill me here. Kavu Predator. Okay. Just another creature. That's fine. Getting it with just the Drake. That is fine. Aether Vial ticks up. We will keep it on 3. That is a Cavern of Souls. We will play that, put it on Cat, and then we will move to combat, swing with all of these, see how they want to block, and then play Collected Company. They are just blocking there. Okay. Well, we will Collected Company, see what we hit here. And we hit an Arabo and a Feline Sovereign, and that looks like lethal to me. All right, yeah, we took that one down. That was closer than I like it to be, and I'm not gonna lie, their deck kind of reminds me of Pauper Infect a little bit, and I got a soft spot for that there. So we're going to bring in Rhodes and probably take out the Aether Vials here. Just increase our removal, and then just try to go fast and wide here and trust on actually casting our creatures. This hand doesn't really do anything right off the bat. I think I gotta ship this one. All right, we got a little bit of removal. We can work our way up the curve here. We're going to keep this, and I think we're going to put back the flanker for now. All right, opponent kept on 5. We're probably going to play this a little slow here. We could run this Leona Vanguard out on 1, but I think I want to see if they will try to go all in on their first creature, erode it, and then start establishing my board. Elvish Spirit Guide into a Frenzied Baloth. Okay. You can get in for 3. That's fine. Again, I think we're still just going to go with the plan here and try to see if we can get them to go all in on this Baloth, erode it, and then build our board out from there. We hit another Marsh Flats. Well, we'll play Marsh Flats, pass the turn. Like I said, I want them to try to go all in on this, erode it, and then they're stuck in top deck mode while we build out our board. Getting it with the Baloth. Let's see if they pump it at all. Does not look like it. We'll take the damage for right now. All right, they only have 1 land. We are going to go ahead and go grab a Surveil land here. I'm pretty sure they don't have land destruction. Do I want another land? I don't think I do at the moment. We'll put that back. And a Johnny. Okay. Well, we'll play another Marsh Flats, pass the turn. They didn't see any removal, so I don't know if they'd have protection spells at all. All right, opponent's going to get in. I'm probably going to go ahead and erode it this turn. I would like them to put some damage or put something on it here, but I think we are going to just have to erode this right now. If they have a protection spell, that sucks a little bit, but okay, they did not. This does give them mana they're missing, but it enters tap, so they can't do anything with it this turn. And then we will go grab our other Surveil land, see what we hit here. Another erode. We will put that on top. I think we are going to take a turn off to just go ahead and play out some creatures here, gain a little bit of life back, and hope that they can't one-shot us with some kind of haste creature here. And then chip the turn, and the next turn we can play a Johnny's Pridemate and hold up a road. 2 mana for a Paw Patch Recruit with the Offspring, so they get 2 of them. We have an answer for 1 of them. That's a Collected Company. Well, we will go ahead and play a Pridemate, move to combat, pump Leona Vanguard, pump the Johnny's Pridemate, get in with these cats, see if they want to block or not. No, they're just going to take the damage. That is fine. And pass the turn. We still have this erode up. So if they try to go in on one of these, we can go ahead and just kill it. All right. Opponent is getting in with them. We will see what they do here. We can take 3. I actually think we're going to block this one with the Johnny's Pridemate. They're going to Bounty of the Hunt this one. Okay. See if they want to do anything else here. They exiled Once Upon a Time to that. And they are doing something else here. They are invigorating that one. Okay. The Johnny's Pridemate grew. No response. See if they have anything else here. If they cast a Berserk, this is a hell of a blowout. Yep. This is a Berserk, and this is probably game right here. And opponent scoops it up. Rabbits versus cats, and the cats come out on top. Okay, so I'm not going to do a traditional summary because the goal of this was just to have a little bit of fun and honor Cosmo's memory. And I will just say, this is not a competitive deck. I tried to make it as competitive as I could while keeping with the theme of being cat tribal and running Kahira as the companion. And I think I actually did a pretty decent job doing that. We did see this deck struggled up against control decks, which is kind of what you would expect with a go-wide creature strategy like this. But if you want to play with cats and you want to do competitively viable things, just play energy. If you really want to go hard on the cat theme, get rid of the Vanguards and replace those with Guide of Souls at least and drop Kahira as your companion. But overall, like I said, I really just wanted to do this to have fun, honor Cosmo's memory, and just do one for everybody's pets out there and to honor the memories of all the pets that we have all lost over the years. With that all said, once again, if you've made it this far, thank you for watching, and I'm just asking for your support of your local humane society, animal shelter, or rescue group. Anything you can do is always appreciated by both the staff and the animals, and like I said before, animals don't ask for the situations they're put in, so anything we can do to make their lives a little bit better goes a long way and is always very appreciated. With all that said, Thank you for watching. I hope you all had as much fun watching as I did playing. I will catch you in the next video. And as always, stay salty. Play any of the decks you see on this channel with a Mana Traders rental subscription. With a variety of tiers to fit any budget, Mana Traders lets you play whatever you want in whatever format you want. Use code DasSourKraut at checkout and become a better player today. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you like what you saw. If you did, do me a favor, hit that like and sub button below. There are free ways to support the channel. And drop a comment, let me know what you like. Any kind of feedback you got, your opinions on my gameplay, the decks that I play, any of that kind of stuff. If you really like what you see, go ahead and drop by the Patreon. Become a patron, get to read some of my tournament reports and some stuff going on outside of just Magic in my life that I'm going to start putting over there as kind of my own personal blog. Also, you can do donation deck lists over there, just the price of a league if you have a specific deck you want to see, or you have an idea you want me to brew around, something like that, go ahead and do that. Nothing is required. It's always appreciated, though. Any donations go directly back into the channel, covering stuff such as leagues for donation decks or the rental program that I'm a part of. I am a small-time YouTuber. I'm doing this for fun. I really hope you all like what you saw. I truly appreciate you all stopping by. I will catch you all in the next video, and as always, stay salty.